Hi, my name is Victoria Elliott, student number 20813. This is my second part of my assignment where I'm going to be looking into 4 different diseases and mental health problems. I'll be looking into the background of each, definitions, some recent stats and what factors can contribute to each. Just to hit off, my first page is just about nutrition and exercise. I've just put a few bullet points down because obviously nutrition and exercise is massive in all 4 of the mental health and diseases and stuff that I'm looking into. Basically, nutrition begins a study about what we need to be able to, be able to survive in the most basic sense. It's really, really important. I'm going to be going through a few little bits and bits that are linked to each disease, mental health. So moving on, the 4 that I'm looking into today are ageing, obesity, bipolar and cancer. I've picked these 4 because they're quite close to me, apart from the obesity side of things, but it's a really big, interesting subject that I'd like to look into. So first off, we've got ageing. On the PowerPoint I've put a few little bullet points about reducing and avoiding ageing and what increases. It's just a bit of research that I've done on ageing. At the bottom there's a quote that's from WHO that just sort of gives a bit of a run over about ageing. Basically, with ageing, economies are globalising. More and more people live and work in big cities, which causes ageing. Family patterns are changing, and technology is evolving rapidly. One of the biggest social transformations is population ageing. Soon the world will have more older people than younger children, and more people of older age than ever before. On researching ageing, I found out that the world will have more people who live to see their 80s or 90s than ever before. The number of people aged 80 or older, for example, will have almost quadrupled to 395 million between 2000 and 2050. A few stats that I found. 2014, 860, I think I've just read that out actually. Just a few more little bits. Basically, changes happen, we think, through ageing. There can be warning signs of potential disease in some cases. Some changes, along thought of as normal ageing, can be in fact, sign of potential, just duplicate itself. Just because you can get a little depressed or snappy and a bit withdrawn, analysis has showed that long-term adult personality should not change much after 30. It states that if you're a happy person when you're younger, you're more than likely going to be happy when you're over 80. And progression of ageing can vary depending on the person. Blood vessels in your heart accumulate fatty deposits, you lose flexibility as you get older, resulting in what used to be called hardening of the arteries. A big charity,
on left-hand corner, that's it.
Yeah. A big charity that I've looked up that is called Age UK, and it focuses and funds people that later on in life. It makes grants for research and it improves health and well-being of older people. Moving on, obesity, huge subject to cover. It's one of the most common problems out there and is estimated to affect at least 1 in every 4 adults and at least 1 in every 5 children aged between 10 to 11 in the UK. How do you define it? A lot of people define it by the BMI, but that's not the case. It's not definitive to diagnose obesity through that. Obviously people can be muscular and have a high BMI. You have to tackle it. Obviously obesity is huge because it can bring on life-threatening diseases such as type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease. It can bring on possible strokes, and it can also cause some types of different cancer, breast and bowel being 2 of the main. Obesity is caused through physical and health problems, not just that, it can be through psychological problems, depression, low self-esteem. It's caused by eating too many calories and fatty sugary food. It's caused by eating more food than what you'd normally burn off through physical exercise. It can be common in people who sit at the desks all the time, people who don't walk and drive everywhere. People who have modern lifestyles and eat cheap and high-calorie foods. Bad underlying health problems, obviously, it can cause underactive thyroid gland. That can be controlled through medication. To treat obesity, obviously, I've put a few bits on the PowerPoint, what you can do to reduce and avoid it and what increases it. Obviously, eating a healthy and balanced controlled diet. Look at joining a possible Weight Watchers group, walk everywhere, go swimming. It states that you can jog at least 150 to 300 minutes within 1 week. Eat slowly and avoid any situation where you could be tempted to overeat. There's not a quick fix for obesity. To be able to lose weight through programs, it obviously takes a lot of determination from your own person and from you as an individual. There's people out there there's a charity called obesitysociety.org.uk which can help. You can research that online. It's good to set yourself a goal, make changes, try and get your family and friends on board with you just to help you along the way. Moving on, a few stats that I found within areas of the UK of how big, how high obesity really is. There's been a recent uproar about Gemma Collins, who was in I'm a Celebrity, who's had hundreds of Twitter abuse for her weight. Not about the fact that she struggled so much on the live show, it's just about her being a role model and she shouldn't have been overweight. In the news on the 17th of November it stated obese Britons don't think they have a weight problem. The number of those expecting that they're overweight has dropped, raising fears that key health messages will be ignored. £838 million was spent on marketing fast food ads within the UK in 2007, according to the Department of Health. And studies have shown that 1 in 10 adverts during television shows popular with children are for fast food chains. And after doing the research in schools, it states that 70% of 3-year-olds recognise the McDonald's logo, but only half of them actually know their own surname, which is a bit scary. The Daily Sunday Mail on the 2nd of December state that new figures from the Scottish Health Survey show that 65% of the adult population are overweight and 20% obese, as well as a rise in type 2 diabetes. It's a massive subject to cover, so I'm going to move on to bipolar. I've chosen this because it's quite close to me because my mum suffers with this, so obviously I know a lot about it. It's formerly known as manic depression. It's a condition that affects your moods. Basically, it can swing from one mood to another. Again, I've put up a few things that I've researched that say that it can help reduce and avoid it, increase it. I don't know whether I fully believe all of those, but what causes it? Unknown. It can be from past, it can be from anything recent, it can be from too much stress, overworked, lack of sleep, life-changing things, divorce or separating from your partner, anything like that. It can also be genetic. Who's affected? It's fairly common, and 1 in every 100 adults can get diagnosed with the condition at any point in their life. It normally develops between 18-year-olds to 24-year-olds, which is what it states, but I don't think that's always right. Men and women from all backgrounds are equally likely to develop it. Bipolar, basically, you can either be really manic or you can be really low. Symptoms are obviously your moods, and it can be, you can have extreme cases of it which can last up to 7 weeks or basically for the rest of your life. Depression is obviously diagnosed first. You can either, when they're really manic, they can be really happy, they can overspend, they can talk too much, see things, hear things. and it interferes with obviously everyday life of the sufferer. It can be managed through the right medication. It takes a long time to get there, but when the right medication is prescribed, hopefully it gets them on a pretty sort of even keel. Medication can last for, well, basically you can be on it for life, depending on obviously how bad the bipolar is. They do say that you can help with it by changing your lifestyle. They say that, you know, regular exercise, mixing with people, getting people out, planning on doing things, getting as much sleep as you can help. I think on the next page I've put a few sort of stats on there that I found on the internet. Medical news on the 17th of September stated that people with bipolar are being treated with the drug lithium, which is actually what my mum's on at the moment. There's a risk of acute kidney damage and need careful monitoring according to new research from the University of East Anglia. Lithium's obviously a mainstay treatment for bipolar, and it's known the drug can cause a loss of kidney infection. So that's quite interesting to read. There's different types of bipolar. You've got bipolar 1, bipolar 2, cyclothymic bipolar, which I can't really pronounce. And then you've got a charity called bipolaruk.org, who are really good. I've done a bit of research on those, and they obviously help out everybody, you know, people with bipolar. Moving on, cancer, huge, massive. Picked it because, again, it's quite close to my heart. There's a lot of different types of cancer, each with their own different methods, diagnosis and treatment. Just to be able to spot cancer, lots of different ways. Normally the changes in your body's normal process, lumps can be found, unexplained bleeding, so many you can't even, what's it called, listen. In some cases, it can be caused by a non-cancerous health condition. Symptoms won't relate to cancer, but can be caused by other non-cancerous health conditions. To reduce the risk, eat healthy, regular exercise, try not to smoke. Obviously not smoking, sorry, is a massive one. How common is it? Really common. In 2011, almost 331,500 people within the UK were diagnosed with cancer. And more than 1 in 3 will develop some form of cancer during their lifetime, which is really, really scary. In the UK, the 4 most common types are breast cancer, bowel cancer, lung cancer and prostate cancer. In 2011, these types of cancer accounted for over half of all new cases. And on the board, I've just put a few different pictures of famous people that have obviously suffered with cancer. That were sort of like, I've done a bit of like research on, and obviously, you know, followed cancer since I was a kid. Cancer treatment, you can treat it through chemotherapy, radiotherapy. How long, it obviously can be something depending on how, you know, widely it's spread. It can be something that can come back. Just sort of maintaining it, looking after yourself, trying to eat the right foods, trying to, you know, just sort of maintain yourself can help prevent it coming back.
Okay, good.
A few stats on cancer. Medical news stated on the 1st of December that scientists from the Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis have developed a new vaccine for breast cancer that's been found to be safe for patients with metastatic breast cancer to use. A study published in Clinical Cancer Research also suggests the vaccine primes patients' white blood cells to attack tumour cells, slowing down the progression of cancer. And then I've just put a few stats, and at the bottom we've got a massive charity. Obviously everybody knows about cancer research. I did a bit of research during my lesson about it. Huge. They do lots of, they do Race for Life, they do Relay for Life, they do loads of different charity events to raise money for cancer victims. Second to last, Change for Life. Done a bit of research on these before I started doing this course. I know it sounds really bad, but I'd never actually heard of Change for Life. Having just started at school, I've been doing a lot with the school about Change for Life, so obviously I've learned a lot more. It's massive in the UK. They have a network of 58,000 local supporters that use Change for Life and help deliver messages to their individual communities. They can taught their audience in better ways, which influences people's behaviour. They work with national partners, government departments and NGOs to help get to more people than doing it on their own. You can download resources, leaflets, sponsor forms from the website. Basically, don't wait for changes to be given to you, make them yourself. Change for Life's obviously here to help. Do whatever you want to do. Yeah. And then moving on, last but not least, Eat Well Play. Basically, it's a massive part of, a lot of nutrition stuff, and kind of really part of all the different subjects that I've spoken about. It's huge. I'm sure you've all seen it, but basically it just shows you how to eat and have a healthy, well-balanced diet. Basically, eating healthy is about the right amount of food for your energy. I think the Eat Well Play sort of relates to, apart from maybe the ageing side of things, all the different subjects that I've spoken about today. And I think that's the end of my presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.